How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, you beautiful people? Oh, wrong screen. Let's go to the full cam. What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Monday, beautiful start to their week, beautiful start to their third week of April. For myself, it was pretty much a nothing burger event. I was trying to catch that long on QQQ at the low a day at one point, but then our systems froze on us, and then the market just thankfully went even much lower, so I just stayed away from it. Then I waited for a pullback to short into. Nothing really happened, so nothing burger for a day for me. I just stayed back to relax. Stayed back, relaxed, had some trades here or there, but overall uneventful. Didn't really make any money, didn't really lose any money, so overall win in my book. Flat day overall. So we just chalk it off, go to the next day, and plan for tomorrow. And based off the move that came off the day today, very interested to see how the next week sets up over here, because the next week we have a lot of big earnings names coming up, such as Apple, if I remember correctly. If not Apple, we have the other big tech names coming up very soon next week. We also have the Bitcoin halving coming up very soon too, where about 6 million coins, if I remember correctly, will now be 3 million coins. So that's something to look out for. So a lot of events are going to come up in the rest of the week over here. So no reason to kind of, be upset about if you didn't have a good day today, if you lost money today, or if you had a flat day today. No reason to kind of be upset. This is day one of the week. We still got 4 more days, so get ready for all the things that we're going to look out for tomorrow, such as the stocks that report earnings in the pre-market, stocks that already reported earnings maybe yesterday or the week before. We're gonna continue looking at the DXYZ making a move, but not really a day trade. Apparently DXYZ now has options available to trade, so that's interesting. We'll take a look at that. Obviously cryptocurrency basket, as I mentioned already, we'll show you guys how the watch list is looking like very soon. But more importantly, I want to know how you did today. What did you do today? What did you trade? How was your day? And are you here to have fun? If so, hit that like button. Hit that like and hit that subscribe. Let's see who's here. TH Dieter. Hope you guys are doing good. I know Dieter is currently at the hospital with his mother, so prayers to his mom, prayers to his family. Hopefully everything is good. Hopefully everyone is safe, and it's just a regular thing that they're getting checked up or something. Hopefully everything's good, my brother, and keep me posted, Dieter. Keep me posted. But why don't we get this show started over here for now, as we have quite a bit to talk about. Basically banks, a lot of banks announcing their earnings reports tomorrow. Continuing with the whole bank season, bank the first stocks to announce earnings idea, continuing with that whole basket. So here's, maybe I should show you the watch list, maybe the earnings board for this week again. So Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab. Tomorrow, the ones that we care about, the ones in the pre-market, are Bank of America, United Health, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Johnson & Johnson. I said JP Morgan because JP Morgan's also on the watch list. But from today after hours, we have Dragonfly. Not that I would be too interested in it, but it's a 70-cent position. Making a pretty decent pop to the north side on the earnings report. Last time we saw a stock from the dollar area making a good earnings report, it ended up being at $25 with a big short squeeze. So pretty interesting to see how Dragonfly could set up tomorrow if it has a big short flow, big short float, low float overall, and if it has a good earnings report, for which we're gonna have to pull up our amazing tool Benzinga. Make sure you go check the link out down below in the description. But for the show today, you'll be able to see me use Benzinga right on the stream. Dragonfly will be reading to see how their earnings report came out, but basically only earnings report that I care about in the after hours for today. Tomorrow we have quite a bit, also in the after hours quite a bit, so we'll talk about all these stocks tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Make sure you're there, or be square, make sure you're there. That's the earnings board. So because of that earnings board, you guys clearly understand that we have a very simple bank sector related watch list for tomorrow. Bank of America, J&J, the only non-bank stock, I guess. Also Dragonfly, the non-bank stock. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, which already reported. I believe they reported today pre-market with a decent report, but they sold off quite a bit all day. Charles Schwab, they made a pretty good move to the north side today. JP Morgan, another bank. So pretty heavy bank related. GL, a stock that's been moving quite a bit with the relative volume behind it also. So still taking a look at GL. And then we just have a repetition of all the other stocks that we usually like to talk about, which are Coinbase, Mara, AMDs, Teslas, Apples, and so on. So starting at the top of the watch list for tonight, I need to drink some water. I have some dry mouth for some reason. No clue why. All right. Dry in a yard. What's up, good? What's up, brother? How you doing? Hopefully you had a good day. I was in 80% cash and added to more cash. Even more core long-term hold stocks fell. By the way, JPM fell today. If I remember correctly, I traded it today. I don't know if I did. I traded Goldman Sachs. I shorted Goldman Sachs. That was a pretty good short. Right around here where I shorted, if I remember correctly. On the pop into 409, was that 408.99? I think 408.95, somewhere over here, and I was risking 410. Maybe not, that's a lie. No, I was looking to get short there. I might not have. I think I got for the 1 minute chart here real quick. I'll be able to see it. Yes, I got short right here. That's a lie. I got short at 405, 406 area, risking the high at this little peak, and then I covered into 404. So I got about $2 per share. But later on, I mean, we can cry about it later. But if Goldman Sachs did this, then most likely JP Morgan pulled back to the downside too, and looks like it did. JP Morgan had a pretty big down day on the earnings day itself. At first, it started climbing up in the pre-market, but then the report came out, everything started going crumble mode on this position, and we just broke down big time on JP Morgan. So JP Morgan kind of tried to relieve some of yesterday's pain, or should I say Friday's pain today, but did not manage to, and pulled right back into yesterday's low. So we'll be watching JP Morgan obviously on the watch list, but starting with Bank of America, not something that we can talk about clearly at the moment because a report comes out tomorrow pre-market. So it's very important for us to be careful when the conference call is, when how the report comes out, how does the analyst behave on that report, how does the market behave off that report. So usually you're gonna have to see the pre-market action very clearly to kind of make levels. But at the moment, based on how most of these banks have been behaving, they've been going up off the original report maybe, but then they sell off. For example, Wells Fargo now going back to the downside after making a little bit high. Citigroup is another example. I'm trying to think which other bank reported. Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Carl Schwab making a nice little move to the upside above the 52-week high range, but then getting sold right back to the downside, getting stuffed to the downside, sadly. So Carl Schwab, another stock that's behaving in the same way, even though their reports have been coming out somewhat decent. So not sure if you should be expecting something different from Bank of America. That would be the definition of insanity, wouldn't it? You know, looking at something that's been repeating itself every single day and then expecting something else different maybe would be a little bit crazy. So looking to see if Bank of America maybe joins that party, breaks that last week's low right here, that little swing low that we have. It has a little bit of quite a bit of EMAs right now. It's hanging out near the 50 period EMA. It could drop down into the 100 period EMA, where we've seen the stock kind of struggle at before, taking off to the high side right into that 34 35 area. We could push to the downside there on a negative earnings report, maybe find some support there. Overall, very dependent on how the stock reports earnings, and the same thing with J&J and Morgan Stanley. But at the moment, J&J along with UNH, CVS, I'm trying to remember what the other stock is. I keep forgetting what the other stock is. God damn it. WBA? Maybe WBA. The whole Medicare sector kind of just pushing to the downside because of their interest rates or something along that catalyst going along. So they all pushed to the downside quite a bit not too long ago. And now J&J coming out with their earnings report, maybe we see a little bit of a relief off of that, right? A little bit of relief from that catalyst. Maybe J&J gets bought up off that move, or do we push all the way back into this 52-week low? Oh, my dog's screaming. Maybe someone's home. But maybe we're looking for that move into the 52-week low, or finally gets bought right back up and we're looking for a move somewhere into last week's high, if that's even possible. If we do get there, maybe we see some exhaustion, some selling coming into place where we can possibly take a short and ride the stock to the downside. So very interesting position shows up over here on J&J. Not really that crazy in volume on the way to the downside over here because of these big volume candles from 2023. But if you kind of zoom in, I mean, the volume's not really that bad. If you're looking at the 20-day average over here, and the stock's kind of doing about the 20-day average, or even above the 20-day average almost every single day. So overall, in play in my opinion, and the earnings will put the stock even more in play. So J&J, I'm gonna have to color it in a different color. Bank of America, not really a high priority for me unless the plays are really clean, really obvious. It's a boomer stock with the 74-cent ATR. J&J on earnings days, you can see a lot more volume coming in, and the stock's ATR is $2. It could easily do a $4 move, $5 move tomorrow. So I'll be very interested to see what type of opportunities J&J shows up more than Bank of America. But sticking with the bank sector real quick, coming to Morgan Stanley, who also report tomorrow. But Morgan Stanley recently has been talking about how they're getting probed into their wealth arm. So a little bit of a scare over there for investors. Maybe they're doing something shady. Maybe something bad's going on. Nobody knows. But overall, this earnings report is the previous quarter. The quarter that should not be affected by anything from this review, audit. Nothing should be heard from this audit or so on. So we'll see how Morgan Stanley's numbers comes out tomorrow pre-market, and if the story repeats for themselves too, like the other banks. Right now we do have this clean double bottom right into $83. It says $83.20, but I'm gonna round it down to $83.20. Sorry, I'm gonna round it down to $83. Right around $83. We got somewhat of a hold over there into the double bottom on Morgan Stanley, and off the earnings report, if we get under that, there is a lot of room to the downside that can open up for us to play with. So very interested to see how the stock plays with that $83 price tomorrow on a negative report, or even on a positive report but a negative move. Do we get under this 3-day low that we've been kind of creating into that last week's low at $85? Do we get under that into 83? Do we break 83? Do we see weakness under 83? And does the stock look something like this on its earnings day, like this, straight to the downside ever since open? I mean, it does go up a little bit from open. Same with Goldman Sachs. It does go up after the open, but straight to the downside for infinity and beyond to the downside. maybe I shouldn't say that. Infinity and beyond means all the way to the bankruptcy. That's not happening, but we could see a good move to the downside on Morgan Stanley tomorrow, especially with that whole negative audit scare that's going on behind this stock. So people might kind of oversell this position if the numbers don't look good either. Now Morgan Stanley also has a $2.27 ATR, almost like J&J, and should have a little bit better liquidity than J&J. No, pretty much the same liquidity, about 9 mil, 8 mil. So we'll be interested to see which stock kind of gives us a better trade, which one makes us put our eyes more glued onto it for the whole day. We got to pick one, stick one, marry it. Okay, stick one and marry it. That's it. Why do I still have these lines? Get that out of my face. Okay. The next stock is a weird one for me. One that I don't really have any. You know what? Because I have this one on my watch list, why don't I just put in this one too? TPET. We'll put TPET in the watch list too. But let's talk about DFly, a stock that I don't think I've ever traded. If I have, maybe back in like the high volume days. It has to be above $1 for me to trade, because I stay away from penny stocks. I stay away from penny stocks. But here's an interesting position. Not too long ago, Rent Runway, which was about $1 or so, $4, $5. Earnings report comes out. We read the earnings report. We kind of see a possible squeeze coming into play, and the stock eventually blasts off to the upside. And we missed that ride over there overall because we forget to look at our notes. We forget to look at the watch list in the morning. And we missed out on a big monster long move. And I don't want to see that happen again. I don't want to see that happen again. So what I noticed is DFly making a nice little move, making a nice pop in the after hours over here, bringing in way above normal volume, 5.3 million shares, whereas the average 30-day shares is only 372,000. So way above average. Kind of peaking above $1, pushing back under $1, and settling slightly above 75 cents over here. Very interesting. The stock's ATR is only 4 cents. We got more than 4 cents of a range over here in the after hours. So let's go take a look at the earnings report. And for that, we're going to have to bring in our trusty friends, Benzinga. So let's see what their report looks like. Actually, we could kind of look at the numbers over here. Not in line, very much in line. Either they're lying about their numbers, or they were perfectly in line with the analyst. That's surprising. Okay, so let's go take a look at this. The company believes that the RV market, okay, so they make recreational vehicles. Is that what they do? Producers, electrical products, Dragonfly Energy Holding Corporation. RV market appears to have stabilized and is showing early signs of recovery. In addition, the company's entry into the heavy-duty trucking market, while still in its early stages, is gaining traction and has potential to be more meaningful revenue. To be a more meaningful revenue, isn't that say to bring a more okay, anyways, to be a more meaningful revenue contributor. Oh, okay, that's why. Contributor in the second half of 2024. Maybe I should read the whole sentence before I start guessing what they should say. Net sales are expected to range between $12 to $13 million. Gross margin is expected in range of 24 to 26%. Operating expenses are expected to be in the range of -$8 to -$9 million. Other income expenses are expected to be in expenses range of -$3.5 to -$4.5 million. Net loss is expected to be between -$8 to -$10.5 million in the first quarter of 2024, or -13 to -17 per share, based on approximately 61 million shares outstanding. That's exactly kind of the number that we wanted to look up next, so they kind of helped us out with that. Thank you. So 61 million shares outstanding at the moment. Let's go take a look at if we see anything else that we like off the report. Company reported a sales of 1044, which missed the analyst estimates of 12.24. Okay. Earning of 5 cents per share, which beat the analyst consensus of loss by. So we got what we have on trading view is wrong here, and we might have a better analyst estimates over here from Benzinga. Dragonfly reported 5 cents per share compared to analyst estimates of 20 cents per share negative. So they actually beat big time by 125%. This is a 131% or 131.25% increase over loss of 16 cents per share from same period last year. So year over year, 131% increase on EPS. The company reported a quarterly sales of 10.44 million, which missed the analyst consensus estimates of 12.24 million by 14%, and that's a little bit of a miss over there. This is a 48.35% decrease over sales from same period last year, 20.21 million from same period last year. So decrease in sales by quite a bit, by 50%. You dropped in sales by 50%, but you beat in EPS quite a bit over there. So pretty decent report on one side, but almost an opposite report on the other side. So we kind of got one of the answers that we wanted to see on DFly. What was the outstanding share? 60 million doesn't really make it a small cap, low float stock. I mean, it does, honestly. Anything, I think, under 100 million market cap. What is this market cap? 26 million. So my manager at my office could probably buy up this company with his buying power that he has, right? So that's how small of a company this is. So it is possible that it kind of has that whole short float squeeze type of game, but don't expect it to do what Rent did. Rent actually had a pretty decent earnings report compared to where the stock was and how much of a short float the stock had. This one, and also Rent's float was also very little. It was only 1 million compared to how big of the short float of Rent was, which was about 25% if I remember correctly. This one's floats 23 million shares, outstanding 59 million, and you're getting a short float of only 13.55. It should be red. That's where it gets exciting. Obviously, anytime it's above 10, it's kind of like, okay, it could have a potential short squeeze. Anyone above $1 probably has their shorts, and those could get triggered, and we can get a little bit of a blast off. Those potentials are there, but I think people, based on this earnings report that we just saw in the stock, are most likely looking to sell this stock on the way back down after it kind of tops out. So looking to see how Dragonfly sets up tomorrow on any sort of a big slap down move after making that short squeeze. So let's see that short squeeze come into play, that capitulation candle or something like that, and we get to stuff it back down. This could very well be the capitulation candle that we're talking about in the after hours, and the stock could just do this for the rest of the day. So you can also ride the short maybe on any sort of pops, not really getting the chance into the $1. But if we do get a squeeze above $1 and the stock does a little bit crazy, then I think DFly will be a little fun for us. So let me just put into my notes over here. $1 resistance support at the moment, we have about 75 cents, and then under 75 cents we're kind of looking at 50 cents, which is yesterday's high, sorry, last week's high. Yesterday's high is at 45 cents, so not really that far out from there. So that's DFly. I feel like I have to kind of put some notes for Morgan Stanley. I wanted to put it to this area as support. So we're looking at last week's low as support, 85, and then under that I'm looking at 83. And then for tomorrow, for the upside, I'll just wait for pre-market to show me if I have to remap my supports and remap my resistances for this stock. Now, continuing with the low float stock that we were talking about, here is TPAT, a market capitalization of 33 million. That's it. Small company, but it's a oil company, petroleum company, oil company. They kind of have been going a little crazy recently with the whole war situation. During war, gold, oil should go up, so you're watching that kind of happen at the moment. So TPAT was one of the stocks that's been catching a lot of traction, bringing in a lot of volume. Not too long ago on day one, which I would say was Friday, brought in almost 180 million shares. How much is that? 300 million shares brought in on that day. Today we brought in about a 200 million shares, 181 million shares. Kind of took out Friday's high, but didn't really manage to do that. So this stock is getting a little interesting now. So I might just have to throw in some levels for it. and see if we can find some opportunities tomorrow. Can this one start squeezing? And you know, this one could actually have some opportunities to continue riding to the upside, especially with all these crazy articles we're seeing every single day about the war. I hope everyone is safe, everyone involved in this whole situation. But you know, I gotta do what I gotta do, which is look for opportunities to see where the profits are being made on anything at the moment. So sadly, TPET is that weapon of choice. Maybe the wrong word to use, but TPET is the right instrument of choice over here that we might need to keep an eye on. And if things keep going crazier and crazier, this stock might join that boat. Today up another 22% with decent amount of volume. Still waiting to see how we do above that $1 price, which we haven't really got into. I think a couple other YouTubers also were talking about TPET on Twitter. So very interested to see how this stock does. I actually don't have TPET's ATR mapped out. TPET 9 cents, but clearly moving well above 9 cents. Is that 9 cents? I guess that's 9 cents. Orange. Okay. Next up is Goldman Sachs, however you want to say it. Decent earnings report for themselves, big volume day, but selling off after hitting basically last week's high. We had that level mapped out, and we got to take a look at that stock basically open up, reject that area, pull back, set up for a beautiful short. I wish I pulled that trigger somewhere here. I might have to write up this stock today. I might just have to write it up. So we're gonna start the queue. That way we remember to write it up right now. Move tab to a new open. Pop. Goes the weasel. Morgan Stanley. Trade write up. And then if I leave it here, I'll remember to do it. Oh, it's not Morgan Stanley, sorry. Goldman Sachs. Trade write up. If I leave it here, I'll remember to write it up. And I did write up yesterday's trade write-up, which was gold, the GLD. I wrote that one up after stream. I'm glad I did. Very glad I did. But I missed this opportunity, so I'm gonna have to write this one up. Beautiful rejection right off of last week's high. Opening up with the good earnings catalyst, breaking out of the pre-market high, running into that last week's high, rejecting last week's high cleanly, pulling back, stalling every time we pop into the area, try to go above, not really able to even hold the opening range 5-minute high or anywhere close to it. We're opening and holding the opening range 5-minute low and kind of making a bear flag over here, giving you an opportunity to take that breakout. You could have taken that breakout or rode it to the downside all the way into, what is this, $400. Your entry is 406 or so. So beautiful ride to the downside over there on GS. Kind of have to, you know, write up on opportunities like this so you can catch it next time. So I'm gonna have to do it. But tomorrow, what type of opportunities do we have on this? Now, the report was decent. The pullback wasn't really that much. It's still up 3% on the day. We managed to hold 400, a decent psychological level on the chart, 400 area. You might see more buyers come in tomorrow, like JP Morgan went up to the north side. You might see some buyers come into that stock tomorrow and run it up to the maybe not all the way back into the last week's high, but a little bit back into the high side over here into today's candle. So we'll be watching Goldman Sachs very much, especially into today's low /400, which was, what was today's low? 398.69. So I'll just put 398.50 to 400 as my support area. We'll be watching Goldman Sachs, seeing what happens. Now, if we don't hold that 400, if we don't hold that 389.50, we're looking for a nice move, clean move into last week's low, all the way into, I think the marker is at $387. A beautiful move into $387, and most likely looking for JP Morgan to break this double bottom low and go even lower. Nice little drop into $170 or so. Right now, that 180 area, possibly the level that you might want to be watching out for. If we can clearly get under 180, honestly, that level is, in my opinion, 182. But if we can clearly get under 180, I'm honestly putting in 182 in my book. If we can get under 180 and then under 180, I'm 182, and then under 182 I'll put in 180 for a nice little breakdown on JPM. We'll be riding this one to the short side. Not sure why that report is being sold off so hard, sadly. JP Morgan not being loved by the market. Another bank to talk about, Charles Schwab, breaking last week's high, pulling right back into the whole week, this whole week's range, or double 2 weeks range, and even closing under that range low. Not looking good overall. So maybe we do get a pullback into last week's low over here. But honestly, I have too many banks already on my watch, and I think some of the banks that I have on watch are much higher ATR. I got Goldman Sachs with $9 ATR, Morgan Stanley with the $2 ATR, JP Morgan with the $4 ATR. I don't really care about Charles Schwab right now, so I'm gonna put Charles Schwab in the bin. Not really gonna care about Charles Schwab tomorrow. I'm gonna delete it from the watch list, and I'm gonna continue down the watch list to the next stock, GL. I might regret deleting that from the watch list, honestly, but we'll find out. If it pops up on my relative volume scanner, why did I say it such a weird way? If it pops up on my relative volume scanners or radars, I'll then maybe take a look at it. But if not, no look. No bueno. No bueno. GL. Yeah, investment fraud, blah, 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 blah. You know, the short report comes out, stock flushes to the downside. It's been dropping down in volume drastically, but also what it hasn't been able to do is rip up to the north side on small volume or show any sort of buying above the $62 area, which is around today's high. It's at 61, but if you look at yesterday's high, which was around 61.45, I'm giving it 62. Yesterday meaning Friday for any one of your technical charting analyst professionals over there, right? So once 61.45 is yesterday's high, Friday's high, waiting to see how the stock behaves above it. So far, not able to show us any breathing room above 62 at all. So keeps getting stuffed, and if any push into 62 gets shown to us, I think being able to short that is a wonderful opportunity. And if it breaks above it, you might see some short squeeze coming into play. There could be some take profit stops right above 62, especially after this big move over here. They might use these little swing highs as a stop, and they might even load into more shares on these moves over here for an even more greater fall to the downside of the stock's short report is actually true, and everything that they said in that report is actually factual. So waiting to see either side, whatever side the stock resolves in. Now the resolution of the downside even to the day's low, where the day event happened, is quite a bit lower than where we are right now. So gotta keep on watch. The spread's gonna be insane. Just be careful. Thankfully the stock is no longer on SSR, I hope. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 3 only down 5%. Should not be on SSR today. So tomorrow we'll see if some activity can pick up, and if the stock gets stuffed even more to the downside, or does it start burning some of the stops to the upside for the shorts. 62 is my key level for the upside, and for the downside I might have to use kind of like this swing low over here, which is $52.17. So maybe you could use $50 to $52 area to watch how the stock behaves to the downside if it even does manage to push down there. Currently with an ATR $7, but that's because the volume was crazy not too long ago. With volume going down, ATR goes down. Most likely you're going to get a little bit of a lower ATR if the stock doesn't bring in good volume for the day. Next one, DXYZ, but before that, I'm going to need more water. How's everyone doing? TH with the scanner alerts today. I like it. TH mentioning Boeing fell, coin fell, Swimmer's in the house. What's up, Swimmer? How can there only be 5 pair of eyeballs on this highly educated stream? Where the F is Ani? That's a very good question. She's usually here. I'm not sure where she is. At Coachella, maybe. Yeah, that's hilarious. Maybe she is at Coachella. Morgan Stanley in big trouble with feds regarding money laundering. Yeah, something about their wealth arm. I don't really read too much about it. I mean, come on, you know me. Am I really reading shit? I'm just trading the volume, looking where the money is flowing and trying to just flow into that money. I'll read into the report a little bit here and there. But I did read that they have a probe, like they're getting audited. So money laundering, whatever their wealth arm is doing over there, very interesting. You know what's more interesting? What I found out today, what's happening with Otani? What happened over there? Otani. This whole thing is crazy. So Otani's interpreter allegedly stole $16 million from the MLB star and lost $40 million gambling. But if you actually look at the numbers, he made about $184 million and lost like 240 or somewhat amount of money, like crazy amount of money. What an absolute freaking legend. Where are the numbers? There we go. He won $142 million and lost $182 million, leaving a net negative balance of $40 million, all from stealing $16 million from Otani. That is insane amount of winnings, and that is an even more insane amount of losses. Buddy is addicted. Buddy was absolutely addicted to gambling. My goodness, I would love to see what he was gambling. Buddy was, I mean, he was not bad at it. To have this stats, honestly, you're just one win away from making that back. Maybe that was the mentality. God damn it, I'm turning into him. I'm literally becoming him right now. Oh my goodness. Nope. No, we're done talking about this guy. But insane story over here. Insane story. Talking about money laundering. Talking about all that scamming and all that fraud bullshit. Look at what this guy's doing. Coming back to another fraud. Look at not DXYZ. I almost called DXYZ a fraud. Sorry. Look at another fraud. DJT. Now cracking that below under $29. We were looking for that long above 29 yesterday. We kind of caught that. Well, we got stopped out. We got it at 30. We got stopped out. That's what happened. I forgot. But we were looking for a trade around 29, and today you actually got an opportunity to trade around 29, and I did. I got a beautiful short on DJT, rode it around $27 and got out around 27. My best trade on the day, I believe, was DJT. So a nice little profitable day on DJT over there. But that whole trade was beautiful. I mean, you know, the stock goes all the way down, bounces off a beautiful support, which was last week's low also. And then all of a sudden, Monday, we got a catalyst that they're filing for a share offering. The share offering was about 10% more shares. The stock drops 20%. Will be interesting to see if we get another 20% additional down move after this one. I know I don't even need to look. I don't even need to see upstairs in my chat, but TH will 100% will be screaming that, you know, I told you so, I told you so. I mean, beautiful move to the downside over here, DJT, ever since that top out. Possibly the sell button was hit by DJT himself over here. I'm surprised that we didn't see like a, was it a S8 filing? I think it's called an S8 filing. We didn't see that filing or anything. So a little bit of a move so far to the downside, a little bit of a move. We'll be seeing if this move gets extended even more. Today down 18% means the stock will be on SSR, so be very careful. DJT should bring in some fun tomorrow, especially on any pops into that $29-30 area. If we get any pops back into $29-30, there could be some monster opportunities to sell the stock right back to the downside, and I'll be watching it. The shares to borrow on this stock were also very cheap. Obviously, that's very dependent on the broker you use. My brokers, it was stupid cheap, so I don't even have to worry about it. DJT very much on the watch list tomorrow. Along with DJT, maybe we do talk about DXYZ, but it's not really a day trade. We're not really day trading this position, although the volume has been getting way better. And one thing that actually is kind of positive about DXYZ here is apparently their volume, sorry, their options activity gets turned on today. So let's go check on that. Yahoo Finance. Yeah, that's right. I can't spell finance. DXYZ options, no option data, no option data at all. So no options yet, I guess, or maybe just Yahoo Finance doesn't have all the info yet. They need to kind of pull the data, update the data, and all that fun stuff. But if any of my options trading friends in the chat over here can help me up, let me know if DXYZ actually has options coming into play just yet or not. But overall, the stock, not really a day trade. Perfect time to maybe start looking as a investment idea, you know, kind of putting it in the long-term basket. Obviously, everything I say is non-financial advice. Think for yourself, apply your risk management. Don't blame me for your goddamn losses. I didn't pull your trigger, all right? I didn't pull your trigger. I didn't tell you what to do. But if you did listen to me the first time, you would have copped a monster move. But I'm not saying that same move is imminent. In my opinion, DXYZ, if what they say is true, will be very interesting because they should belong in the scale of currently I'm looking over at my screen because I'm trying to grab a couple pictures for you guys. They should be in the scale of QQQ. $300, $400, right? So that should be the truth, but sadly I don't think they will get there because of this picture right here that one of my friends was able to find. This is the amount of money that they have invested in these companies that they boast of investing in. $14 million in SpaceX. Now that's not much. Now obviously that's $14 million more than I have in SpaceX, right? That's $14 million more than I have in SpaceX, but that's for a company whose evaluation is like what, 150 billion, 200, 300 billion. I don't even know how to value SpaceX. I don't think anyone does, but it's not in the million, especially in that low of a million amount, right? Epic Games, $1 billion company, if I remember correctly, only $6 million investment into Epic Games. Where's OpenAI or even Discord? Discord's not $1 billion company, but they only have 700,000 invested in Discord. Okay. Boom Technology, that should be the company that we were talking about yesterday that makes the new Concorde Airlines. They're a pretty decent company. Having a 2 million of Boom is actually not bad overall. That's pretty good. Looking for any other companies that I can kind of remember. I'm really looking for OpenAI. Where is OpenAI? They won't even say it in this picture. Maybe we'll find it in this one. Nope, don't find it in this one either. But overall, my point is, you know, I would probably chill out a bit. You know, I would want to see more information come in. We looked up their address, their principal office located at 1401 Labcava Street. For those of you who were not here for that, let's show you exactly. What we're talking about once again. Now, keep in mind, they don't need a full office, right? This is just a company that invests some shares in a bunch of other companies. That's all it is. I think that right there, that building right there, is probably their office. Because this one is a post office, and this picture is from March 2024. March 2024. That's a post office. That's a clothing store. A floral design store. What the hell am I looking at? Anyways, that's not even the right address. It's a whole different unit. That's the right unit number, 1401. And 1401, I think it says some unit 2 or unit 121, unit 141. So somewhere within in there is the office. Oh, 114. It says right there, unit 114. So it should be this one most likely, or one of the offices in there. But keep in mind, they don't need a real office. All they need is a little room like this, a computer, and some money, which is all through wire transfers anyways. So I'm not calling them fake, But I just don't like what I see at the moment. I just don't like what I see at the moment. Overall, though, pretty decent price now, coming back to some sort of a normalcy, some sort of a reality check over here after that craziness that's been going on. Will be interesting to see once the options go crazy on the stock, how, or should I say ETF, how the apes on Reddit start behaving on DXYZ. I think they'll start going a little crazy. This one will be more in play after that, so that'll be fun with that. So we'll see how DXYZ goes from there. Oh, my niece is here, and he's going crazy. My dog's going a little crazy. All right, Reddit breaking that low finally, that contractual low that I keep talking about. So finally breaking that low, pushing much lower now, near $40. Today's low is $39.50. So we're waiting to see how Reddit behaves right into this $39.50 to $40. If we get some support into that area, then possible longs, but most likely we're looking for more downside, especially the way the market's behaving right now. Big downside move on the market today. Market selling off downside drastically under last week's low, so any sort of a pullback on the market could set up for even bigger of a short opportunity. We're looking for some bears to kick in, some selling action to kick in. I know TH was already screaming Slaughterfest songs yesterday, and screaming, talking about how it's what is it, scary season, horror season for the market. So it's looking like it might be spooky season already. Halloween's not even right around the corner. We got lights going. Yapper, no yapping. There she is. There's the troublemaker. There's a troublemaker. Let's see who else is in the chat. Doom's in the chat. What's up, Doom? D's XYZ. That's right. I day traded DXYZ, bought Friday at 30, sold it at 44. Let's go. Brad holds a world record for the most tabs open. These are not even the most tabs I have open at the moment. There's more tabs on more screens, on more layouts. I have specific layouts for specific things. I have one for movies, I have one for YouTube, I have one for trading, then I have other tabs on other...
Please.
Jesus, fuck, that scared the shit out of me. I have other tabs for other windows, on other browsers. Fight me, they call me Tab Man. He was too busy pulling on his own trigger. Who's pulling whose trigger? I forgot. Their initial holding was 50 million. Their market cap is 350 million. That's assuming 7 times return on their holdings. DXYZ. People will trade the shit out of it. Low float, full float, full boat. I like it. Angry Buddha is actually getting loaded for that DXYZ run to the back to the north side. Options will be very interesting. I'm very excited to see how this one will behave once options get turned on. Wonder if they have options for future investment. I think they should. For DXYZ, they should. Only makes sense that they should. 350 million market cap with that office. Look, it's allowed, right? Like I said, they only need... I have 1 million buying power in multiple markets. So technically I have a 2 million buying power. And technically I have 2.5 million buying power because I have 500k on another market. But and within my office alone, I should say my office, within our office alone, we probably have easily above 110 to 150 million buying power. That could easily take over DXYZ. But the point was, that's run from like a pretty decently sized office. You don't need that big of an office to just sit there and buy stocks of a company, especially when you're buying stocks of a company, of a private company, right? They're not even traded on the open market. They're not even traded on the open market. You're going home, you're going to make deals, you're going to other people's offices, you're bringing other people to your office. Maybe you don't even bring people to your office because your office looks like that. You take them out elsewhere to go drink and so on. So you don't even need a real office. That office just sits there for them to collect checks. Maybe that's all it is. It's a post office, and they're basically sending their letter to a post office box that they just post a letter to. They don't need anything, right? They don't need anything. This guy probably just has a suit on, walks to his interview, shakes hand with Elon Musk, $14 million investment, bang, goes to the next open AI funding or next to the next private hedge fund deals or whatever, and he probably bids to it and probably loses his bids most of the time, because if you're only getting $14 million of an investment in, there's a chance that there's, you know, all big hedge funds out there in the world, BlackRock, banks, you know, other companies out there, they also get a handout or an invitation to come invest in SpaceX, right? There's no way that there's DXYZ, a special private hedge fund, that they got a special invitation to come invest in them. These other banks, BlackRock, other companies, Google, have invested in them too, right? So they probably get outbidded by these big companies all the time. But the fact that they were even able to have 14 million is a big W in my opinion. I think that's networking for him. That opens up ways for that Indian CEO who runs DXYZ to go around and kind of, you know, acquire more in the future. The fact that he even has 14 million of SpaceX means in the future he could get more, right? So it just could be a PO box office that they're kind of pointing to as their headquarters. Sadly, that's how they post it, headquarters. But it's just probably a post office, and they don't really need a whole office. So I don't want you guys to think that that I'm saying that it's a scam when I talk about it, but overall I just don't like what I see from what I saw overall. $14 million in SpaceX, that's your highest investment. You don't even have $1 million into Discord. I haven't seen the OpenAI numbers. And what else? And your office looks like a shithole. Your office looks like a shithole. So that's my answer over there for DXYZ for now. But coming back to the market here real quick, before we end the stream over here for the day, not many stocks left. I mean, the last few bit of stocks, these are the main interest of stocks that we talked about so far. The next few list of stocks are just, you know, your Coinbases, your Apples, your Nvidias. Most likely not even going to be trading most of them tomorrow. Maybe I will be trading Apple and Amazon and Google because they've been going a little crazy recently. Apple holding really well today for quite some bit. Sorry, I had to burp. Apple was holding really well today for quite some time, even though the market was selling off, and then eventually Apple joined in the party event to the downside. So we're watching Apple for maybe a continuation downside. We're watching Amazon, which made that run to 180 and then immediate turnaround from that 188. So beautiful move down there. Microsoft double topped and sold off big time today. So I mean, I'm always watching large cap stocks when QQQ is moving, when SPY is moving. So without a doubt, I'm watching them, and if there's a trade that sets up on them, I will trade them. I'm sure all of you have your own levels and your own little indicators of trading these stocks, but my most important stocks at the moment will not be Meta. Even though Meta did pull back quite a bit, it will not be Meta, because Meta, I feel like it will just bounce right off the earnings anchored VWAP. So I will keep it and watch, but not really Meta at the moment. But more so, the Microsoft pullback today was drastic. Big pullback on Microsoft. That's the daily chart. Look at Apple compared to Microsoft. Not really all the way back down. And I feel like if Apple goes back down here, we're going to be met with insane amount of buying resistance again. So Microsoft with that big pullback opens up some room to the downside. We're first time testing the earnings anchored VWAP after a long time. And Microsoft has been trading in this area for a long time also before breaking down. And you can see how this bottom has been respected for a real while too, for that 420 area. So we're watching how any pullback into 420 does it get rejected? Do we get sold off from that price point? So Microsoft, we're seeing how this one comes into play. Yo, makes sense, total sense. Now he's Indian. He ain't spending shit on an office. He must be Gujarati. Yeah, CEO is Indian. Told you that. Yo, where are those likes at, gentlemen? Appreciate that, Angry Buddha. I forgot to ask myself. People, smash that like, smash that subscribe. Let's bring in that emojis. Answer your mom's text message, okay? She spends a lot of time to send you a sweet, lovely message to remind you to hit that like and hit that subscribe for your boy, TraderPrad. Is that the only one I have right now? That's so sad. I need to make more. But Microsoft. Microsoft making a nice little move today, opening up that downside area. Nvidia, let's see Nvidia climb back to the downside over here, but we got TSM and ASML reporting earnings soon. That could help Nvidia run back up if they report well, and they might just report well, so you got to be careful with that one. Netflix reporting this week and making a beautiful move down today, so wait and see if Netflix can kind of normalize, stabilize itself before the earnings report, or are we gonna crumble before we start taking off that report, which I think will help Netflix quite a bit. I honestly think the report on Netflix will be good, but Netflix looks like it wants to crumble right now with the rest of the market. And talking about crumbling, Tesla did that, but on a weird catalyst. Tesla actually had a good catalyst in my opinion. You know, cutting 10% workforce, usually stocks go up on that news, but Tesla over here cutting 10% of workforce, going down on that news and going into this beautiful triple bottom, which is a very interesting level on Tesla. I'm gonna have to mark Tesla as a high priority trade tomorrow and look out for that level right into 160. A beautiful price. I guess it's 160.50 honestly, but right into that 160.50 area, watching to see how Tesla plays on the way down tomorrow. Can we get some action? And then under 160, obviously, we have that 152 all the way from April 2023, which honestly might not even be that much of a factor tomorrow. If we get under 160 cleanly, Tesla might just crumble, absolutely tumble. Let's get ready to rumble. So watching how Tesla behaves tomorrow to the downside, especially on a market sell-off. If market pulls back into last week's low, sells off more off that, and we get even more downside, Tesla, oh baby. I think Tesla might just be the #1 priority tomorrow in pre-market if we're playing with this 160 area. So very important to see where Tesla is right off the open. And that right there is the watch list for tomorrow. Let's head over to the economic calendar. This was today's economic calendar. Did I post today's economic calendar in my Discord? Oh my god. Let me take a look, please. Let me take a look right now. Economic calendar. I did post today's. God damn it, Prad. You can't do anything right. Okay, there we go. And then let me delete that one from my watch list and post tomorrow's economic calendar. Tomorrow's economic calendar looking pretty dead overall. We do have a 3-star event at 1:15 p.m. Fed Powell on the microphone. We have a bunch of 2-star events, not something that I think should really move the market, but you could watch to see what happens at 8:30. Housing numbers, building numbers are coming out. 9:15, you got some industrial production year over year, month over month numbers, manufacturing numbers coming out. Atlanta Fed GDP also at 1:15 at the same time the Fed Powell will be having his microphone opportunity. Let's see what type of hot rhymes will be he dropping on the market. Maybe he's not going to be talking about the market, but isn't the IMF thing tomorrow? Okay. So could move the market quite a bit tomorrow because he's talking about the dollar, talking about the market, and the interest rates and so on. So very, very interesting time period tomorrow is 1:15 p.m. when Powell comes on the mic. We do have Barkin, who's going to be barking at 1 o'clock, and we also have Williams at 12:30. So pretty much all throughout the afternoon, they're going to be using their opportunities to probably move the market around. Not that that's their job too, but they're going to do some craziness hopefully, and maybe we get some volatility, some action to play with. Maybe not just back and forth action. We get one directional action for us to play with. So we'll see what type of party do we get over here. Yeah, IMF meetings, International Monetary Fund. Isn't that IMF? Yeah, International Monetary Fund. So that meeting is happening very, very early. So we'll see how that one sets up. That is the economic calendar for tomorrow. Let's kind of see if we're missing out on anything by using our trusty friend Evan. Evan, what you got for us? Earnings watch. Notable companies due to report included United Health. We did not talk about that because a $900 company. It's a $400 company if I remember correctly. UNH. Yeah, $400 company. Decent volume right now, but usually doesn't do that good of a volume. So the spread's pretty insane. I didn't really talk about this. It is this is reporting tomorrow, so I might actually have to add UNH into my report, but I don't really have a memory of trading the stock too much, so it's not really in my watch list. But I might just have to, you know what, I'm just gonna put it into my watch list, and I'll kind of see what I can do with this later on. UNH. All right. So UNH on the watch list now. Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Rio Tinto. Rio, don't really care about that. I think that one's actually tomorrow after hours, along with United Airlines, which is tomorrow after hours. We'll talk about United Airlines tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you show up for that one. Baidu will be hosting its annual flagship AI developer conference at, should I even try saying that? Shenzhen World Exhibition at Convention Center. Robin Li, co-founder, chairman, and CEO of Baidu, will deliver a keynote speech, which will be his first major public speech of 2024. All day, the IMF will release its latest World Economic Outlook. Housing stats for March will be reported. Economics forecast a drop of 1.48 million for the month from 1.52 million in February. So, if they're talking about housing sales, no, permits. Oh, there is starts. It's not stats. Ah, I was wrong. What is housing starts? Construction. Okay, so construction going down, permits probably going up, but construction probably going down. That is probably the case over there. You're probably watching home builders like LEN. I don't know any other home builders than LEN, to be honest, but home builders like LEN, Home Depot might come into play for that one, so you might watch that one too. Besides that, nothing really for Tuesday. That's all she wrote for Tuesday, and that's all she wrote for our stream. Unless we have a YouTube video where we can, oh, holy shoot, that scared the crap out of me. Unless we have a YouTube video from our friends at SMB Capital to watch, or anything that we want to hang out and watch other than SMB Capital. Oh, you know what? I actually do have a video that I kind of want to watch. But before we watch that, I want to go say hello to my family real quick. So yeah, no video on SMB Capital. Aww. All right, let me go say hello to my niece and my sister-in-law real quick, and I'll be back, chat. I'll be back. In the meantime, you guys get to listen to some awesome music. After we come back, I'm gonna watch this Top Gear video. You're more than welcome to watch it with me. I was 5 minutes in. I'll rewind it. It's about a car.
Follow that car for.
Oh my god, that was loud. It's a Top Gear video about the brand new Bugatti. Very interested about it. It's about a 20-minute video. We'll probably watch this once I'm back, and then we'll play some chess and we'll call it a night. If you want to hang out with me, stay tuned. I'm just gonna go say hello to my family members real quick, and then once I'm back, we'll have some fun. If you want to leave, I appreciate all of you for staying. I appreciate all of you for sticking around, talking stocks, talking shop, talking market. I will be back doing that tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 p.m. So come back for that one. Make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe. It means the world to me, means the world to the YouTube algorithm, where I could use a lot of help in. Also, go check out all my links in the description below, please, because I would help. It would mean the world to me if you use my links over other people's links, because it would help me. So go check those links out in the link below, in the description below. I'm gonna be right back. My niece got me Kit Kat, boys. I'm back. I'm back! You guys were up to fuckery in the chat or what? Chair DJ hits hard. Yo, Chair DJ, his name is Dieter. Chair DJ's name is Dieter. Sadly, he's dealing with some situation right now. Hopefully everything's okay. I'm deaf. And I have to scream every word I say because I'm deaf. Oh my god, that was so loud in my headphones. So with audio levels work in my mixer, if I have it max here, that's the only way you will hear it in stream. But if I have it max on this, I'm screwed. That's why usually when I'm off stream, this is at this, and I'm listening to this on max because I game with this on max. Oh, I'm deaf. All right, time for a movie time, guys, but nothing about trading. About a Bugatti car. Bugatti Gorar.
Bugatti Bolide is the answer to one of the great pub questions. What if Bugatti kept the Chiron Supersport's 1,578 brake horsepower, 8-litre quad-turbo W16 engine, but built a totally bespoke, stripped-down, track-only hypercar around it? What would that look like? What would it feel like?
Batmobile, literally.
Today, I'm the first person outside Bugatti's inner circle to spend some proper time with the £3.5 million Bolide
That's
at
not
the Nardo
street legal.
Proving Ground in Italy and experience it in full
It's got
flight.
SpaceX markings
Chaperone
on it.
for the day? None other than Bugatti's chief test driver and Le Mans winner, Andy Wallace.
Should we do a launch then?
Let's do a little launch, shall we?
Yo, hold up. You guys see this helmet? It's like duct taped. That's not safe, is it? Guy's whole helmet's duct tape.
Oh, my poor squidgy body. This is just ridiculous. I'll tell you what, electric cars, a Tesla Model S Plaid.
But the other guy's
probably
helmet's
do
perfectly
something
fine.
similar to this in a straight line for a few hundred meters at least, but it's kind of a silky,
Oh, he's got a little bit of
smooth,
duct tape there, I guess.
violent force. This is just pure, unadulterated violence to the senses at all times.
Unadulterated.
It's on another level.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to do a pit speed.
Oh yes.
So we're on
this
pit
is going to be
speed.
a pit speed limiter. So coming out of the
That
pits,
does look like a Batmobile
and
and a Lambo.
Holy mother! That's Jesus.
That body just flies to
So
the
that's a
front.
rolling launch, straight out the pits. I think you'd probably leap from 10th place to 1st if you did that in a race. Oh, whoa!
Can I
It's
see the
just
speed?
relentless!
892 kilometers per hour? Bro, what are we looking at? Look at the inside of this. It's like a plane engine cockpit. Oh, it's got blinkers. Yeah, blinkers. Dude, 892 kilometers per hour? 1,000 kilometers per hour.
It's just relentless! Relentless in that way that only Bugattis are. The acceleration just doesn't stop. You basically run out of track so long before the
No
car.
way, bro. It says that right
Bugattis
there.
are relentless.
Highest number we just saw was 1030.
Just relentless.
1030 kilometers per hour.
Relentless in that way that only Bugattis are. The acceleration just doesn't stop.
Yes,
You
way,
basically
just
run
saw
out of
that.
track so long before the car runs out of performance. It feels like I do 500-600 miles an hour if you had a long enough straight. No idea what speeds we're doing.
And he
God,
doesn't
I
even
hope-
know he just went 1,000 kilometers
I
per
pray
hour.
the owners of this car use
It says
it properly,
KPH
because
angry.
This thing is
Are you smoking?
wild, wild, wild. And I'm starting to feel a little bit sick, Andy.
Copy that. I'll come back now.
Here we go. A little bit sick, Andy.
Copy that. I'll come back now.
Here we go.
All right, let's go take a look at
Hell.
this. Top speed.
Andy, thank you so much for scaring the out of me and making me feel quite sick. But you said that sitting in the passenger seat even makes you feel sick.
Yeah, the trouble is,
Top
it's not
speed.
fair
Where's
being in the
top
passenger
speed?
seat because you don't know when I'm going to put my foot on the brake, do you?
Yeah.
And all I saw was your helmet going towards the windscreen
My
and
neck
stretching your neck.
extending by a few inches. Anyway, I'm going to start with a really obvious question. All right. How does driving this thing compare to the Chiron? I've driven the Chiron.
311 miles plus miles per hour.
I'm guessing quite different. but-
Revealed
but
with
sort of sum it up for me.
311 plus
Well,
miles
as you know,
per
the
hour top
Chiron's
speed.
amazing, but it's designed for all of the obstacles you have on the road and all of the niceties that you need. And of course, we don't need any of that. It's a track car. And
It's a racing car, isn't it?
it's a race car, effectively, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Of course, it's still a Bugatti. It's still easy to drive and it's comfortable and it's got air conditioning, but it's far, far away from what a Chiron is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with that, especially because you've got
So
Michelin
what the
set
hell was that?
tyres, you've got carbon
1,000 kilometers?
brakes.
Oh, maybe
So
it's in.
all of these pieces need to go into the window in order to get the car to operate correctly.
Maybe there was
So
a decimal
just
there.
driving slowly around.
Maybe
some
it
of
was
these
a
roads.
decimal there, and we
Of course,
forgot
you
to
don't
see
have
the
any brakes.
decimal.
So basically,
Whereas,
when
like
pesky
eight-
journalists come
8,
along
9
and say,
kilometers,
"Oh,
100
Andy, can you follow
kilometers."
that car for a bit of tracking and a bit of photography and
Like the
slow
amount
down
of
and speed
downforce
up?"
you would do to stay alive. It
not
looks like
ideal
it could
for the
generate that
balloons,
amount of
but-
downforce. I mean, what? Formula One cars go at 200, was it kilometers or miles? I forget what, but like they go at the corners with pretty high speed. They generate pretty good downforce. This one looks like it generates way more downforce than a Formula One car.
We also got to experience it
I'm not no
in that
engineer,
window, which
but I understand
was
what you're
absolutely
saying.
Insane. So what I want to do now is just there's
The tires
so
need to
many
not tear
details in this car.
apart,
As with
yeah.
any Bugatti, it's like a,
They're Pirelli,
if you're a
Pirelli
fat
run
fan,
flats,
it
brother.
is just chock full of incredible stats. This car. So I want to go through sort of each element
Oh, let's hear the
bit by
stats.
bit. I'll sort of prompt the area we want to talk about. All you need to do is just turn
Isn't
your
that
brain.
the SpaceX logo, dude? Like, isn't that X just straight up SpaceX? Ah, it's the other way around. No? The right way around. Yeah, the back X is under and the top X is over. Back X is under, top. Oh! Maybe they are collaborated.
inside out and give us as
Yeah.
much information as possible.
Okay, we'll
and I want
find
to
out.
start with the engine,
We'll find out.
which
Carbon
is
fiber.
about 35% of the entire car in this thing. It's not actually that big, I believe, when you're standing next to it.
It's very wide. I believe it's 2.1 metres wide.
Yeah, but the footprint doesn't seem that big. Let's come back to the engine. So obviously, it's the engine that we know and love. It's the W16 8-litre quad turbo, but more power than the Chiron here.
It's the same power. It's more power than a standard Chiron. It's the same power as the Super Sport.
Super Sport. Okay, so
Chiron.
15 in old money, 1578 bhp or something like that.
1600 PS.
Yeah.
I've just helped you out there.
Yeah, thank you so much. What about the rev limit? Does it rev any higher? Is there any differences internally?
There's a few more RPM on there. It's just a couple of hundred RPM.
Yeah.
But in any case, the RPM side of things, and I noticed this with a lot of fast cars that you drive, but in the case with this one, it still retains the auto upshift.
Yeah.
So there's no automatic setting. You're in manual the whole time, but it will upshift.
35% of the car is the engine.
RPM.
Yeah.
Which is great because this thing accelerates so fast when you leave a first or a second gear corner.
Okay, let's see.
Through the
So
gears.
when we were doing all those launches earlier,
Bro, you see that?
You want
Says 500 kilometers per hour right away. How many seconds was they even in? Is that time? 2.6 seconds, 500 kilometers.
auto upshifts?
It's
not
permanently on.
seconds.
So
But look at that, that's at 1,000
You can do, of course, you can
kilometers.
short shift on the track if you need to get rid of some torque.
Yeah.
But normally you just slam the pedal.
And
wide
it's
open
turning
and you just
around
sit
at
there.
400 kilometers.
And the shifts are really smooth, really fast. If you had to stare at the tacho or the shift lights to see when to shift, that would actually take away from the driving pleasure. I think.
Unless these numbers
It's
are
all happening so
fugazi.
fast.
I can vouch for that. It was happening quite fast. I just thought your upshifts were absolutely perfect and on point, and you were just letting the computers do the hard work. I did a little bit of fag packet calculation, so I think this car, so it weighs, we'll come on to the weight next, so 1450 kilograms, that's the target, which gives it, I think over 1100 horsepower per tonne, which is just, whichever way you cut it, that's bonkers. So I'm thinking Alpine A110 with 1,000 horsepower. That's how I'm trying to get my head around it. But what are the sort of what are the major things that have cut all that weight? Is it 500 kilograms less than the Chiron? A bit more?
It's probably 500 kilograms less. Yeah, probably even perhaps 550. Well, I mean, from the ground up, it's completely different. The monocoque is totally different.
What now?
For a start off, and then all of the things that add weight onto a road car that make it nicer to drive. Of course, we don't need any of those things. So one of the things in terms of the engine, we've taken away the sequential turbocharging system. So on the Chiron,
Can you
2
buy
turbos
that
are
for
switched
me?
off
Yeah,
until
for
4,000
you and all
RPM.
my moderators.
Here we have all 4 running at the same time.
Let
Now,
me
we do
just
that
sell
on the
both
Chiron
my
so that
kidneys
the
really
torque
quick.
doesn't
Even then,
arrive
I
at
can't
4,000,
afford
arrives
it.
just over 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So
From
on
all the
road,
damage
it's
that I put my
fantastic, more
kidneys
with
through.
torque.
Yeah.
Probably
On the
can't
track,
even
of
afford
course,
a
you're always in
goddamn
the right
Porsche
gear.
with my kidneys.
So you don't need that. And
You're
that's,
always going to have 4,000 RPM
minimum.
or more, you should be.
Yeah, your minimum. And even if it drops under that, it's for just a nanosecond and bang, it's above it again. So, of course, taking that system off saves some weight. So that's one of the areas we saved weight.
Yeah.
And you'll see that all the bodywork is exactly what it needs to be for a track car.
Yeah, it's
and
carbon.
no more. Yeah.
Everything is made out of carbon. You talked about the
Carbon.
monocoque there. There's a fantastic image that you released of the rolling chassis of this car, which looks like some sort of mad hot rod from the future, because it's this beautiful kind of teardrop shaped monocoque with this with the nose cone out the front. And there was a wonderful statistic about the stiffness of it, and I think it's something like, correct me when I go wrong, 7.5 tons sitting on the A pillar, and it's not allowed to deflect more than 50
Mikey,
mil,
what's up, brother?
which I was sort of, 50 mil and 7.5, that doesn't compute. It must be incredibly stiff.
Yeah, it is, and even a standard Chiron, the numbers are mind-boggling. It's a standard Chiron was at the level of a LMP1 Le Mans prototype in terms of chassis stiffness. So it's incredibly stiff, and it needs to be, because not only do you have the 1600 PS, you've also got the 1600
Bugatti Veyron. That's such an old car, though.
1200 foot-pounds.
Yeah.
They have, like,
of
newer
course, is the bit
Bugattis
that's
now.
twisting everything.
Yeah.
And so everything needs to be stiff. And if it's not,
I'm a Porsche
you
guy.
get strange
I stay
feelings
loyal
from
to my
from the driver's
Porsche
seat.
and my
With full
McLarens.
acceleration, the car can move around and steer itself, and you don't have any of that with this.
Aero, it's got some.
It's got a lot of aero.
It's got
yes.
some.
So
Bugatti, that
380
German
Ks,
auto.
which I believe is around, is it
Owned by-
237 miles an hour? So at that
Owned
speed,
by
the car
Volkswagen
has
now?
almost 3 tons of downforce. So
Was it
1,000
Ita-
kilos
is
on the front,
Bugatti
1,900
Italian?
on the rear.
Yeah, twice its weight.
Italian
effectively.
owned
Exactly,
by
yeah.
German.
So it's immense.
Or
And
maybe
so
German owned by
during
German.
all the testing that we did, in the high-speed corners, the car is absolutely planted. But importantly, this downforce is not pitch sensitive. So we could have actually got more downforce on the car, but the penalty for that would have been some pitch sensitivity.
Old
And
school
it's so believable.
Maseratis.
If you're in the middle of a
But I
fast
hear
corner and you
Maseratis
get
break
off the
down
throttle,
all the
you have to
time,
grab
and
the
their
brake.
replacements
It
are
doesn't
like
shift
stupid
around.
expensive
So
or
it becomes
something.
very easy to drive.
I've had a
easy to
couple friends with
trust,
Maseratis, and they've
therefore
hated
for our
it.
customers, they can
Not
get
the way
closer
it
to
drives or
very
anything, just
quickly.
like how often they've had
No
to keep
active
having to
aero.
fix it.
There is no active aero, no.
Yeah.
There isn't, except for the point that, of course, the faster you go, the lower the car gets because of the squash.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice little segue into talking about the suspension, which has some very trick suspension arms, doesn't it? 3D printed, they're very light and very I think it was 100 grams, but it could take 3.5 tons of force.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know you pick that thing up and it weighs absolutely nothing, but it's probably easier to point the things that are not, wow, wacky, exotic, because that's the same everywhere you look.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it can be done, it's done. You can ask the question why after, but let's do it.
Exactly. Gorgeous sight. I must say about the styling as well that this is obviously a prototype that we're with today, but actually you step back and you get the sense of that overall shape, and it's so function led in terms of the amount of space in the back of the car and all the vents and the wings and stuff, and I love that, but it still looks.
It looks great, and
mighty.
this particular car, I think it's close to 12,000 kilometres it's done. So what's that, 7,500 miles? And this is not going to Tesco's and back. We have not driven this car with any sympathy whatsoever. I was talking to you a bit earlier about we were in Mugello. There are lots of the tracks we've been to, huge curbs on the apexes and the exits, and we're just blasting across the top of all of them.
Yeah.
And that's what the car's been designed for.
Lovely. So you hear that? If you're one of the 40 customers that's got a bleed, feel free to smash into those curbs because it's Andy Wallace approved. Now, I know I'm not allowed to drive it today, but can I have a sit in your seat? Because I'd love to see and feel what it's like to get in there and to find out.
And very important, the seat, because you can sit in a seat and think, oh, this is all nice and comfy, while the car's stood still.
Yeah.
Then you go out on the track and you realise actually it's not good at all. So this one, and this can happen for any customer who wants it, this is a purpose-built, made to the shape of me.
Yep.
So have a
Yeah, and
have a
just
sit in it.
before we even get in, you'll see the padding's here. So like part of the headrest and the padding is built into the
onto
carbon
the door.
structure of the door, and here as well.
And this is made as part of the seat too. So
Yeah.
so when you change seats, you would change
So
that.
it's just
So
a
the seats are
pure
fixed
racing
to
machine.
the
That's it, for
monocoque,
no other purposes.
and then you adjust.
Not street
wheel and
legal.
pedals.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't
And so the
see-
height
you will never
adjustment
see
is
this on the
what you do
street.
when you make the seat.
Kind of like the
Timing.
Vulcan,
This
probably.
can't be that difficult. So I've got to hold the
purely
harness
for
right
the
so it doesn't
race.
fall underneath my bum, never to be retrieved again.
Yeah, so you don't sit on it.
Feet on the seat, feet out in front of me. Oh, a fair bit snugger than the passenger seat, I have to say.
It is, and it might feel snug when you stood still, but when you're racing around high-speed corners, it will feel absolutely right.
It's proper racing car position. It's much more reclined. My sort of ankles are somewhere around my sort of height, same height as my bum. And so, yeah, it's got that sort of unique race car. The steering wheel comes off, doesn't it?
It does.
Should we give this a go?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Right.
Give it a yank and
There
put
we
it-
go.
there you go.
There we go. So there we go. You don't actually necessarily need to do that. I mean, I didn't need to do it. I suppose if you're a bigger person.
Well, if
it
somebody's
might-
got big knees, for example,
Yeah.
then you would need to do it. But
big knees, and important to make sure it's actually back on before you set off again.
yeah, it's the one thing as a
Wow,
as
what a
racing
great
driver,
joke. Ha, ha,
of
ha,
course,
ha,
they
ha,
didn't
ha.
come off in my day when
You
I
gotta
was
make
young,
sure
but
the
each
steering's on
racing
before
driver
you
has done it
take
once
off.
when you move it, and it actually comes off in your hand because it
Who
was
the hell made this guy the
It's
host,
like an
dude?
anxiety dream before a big race, isn't it?
Bring back Jeremy Clarkson.
Other things I'm going to point out. So it looks like you've got a couple of exhaust pipes coming in here, but that's actually piping the cold air in, and you've got a couple for the passenger as well.
Yeah, and in fact, through most of the testing, if it wasn't 40 degrees ambient, you couldn't even have it on maximum. It's coming through there pretty
I'm
cold.
bored.
Yeah.
It's
He's
very
not giving
pleasant.
us any good
Yep.
info about this car
and
anymore.
literally, I don't think there's any components. I mean, this is obviously a long way off being the beautiful finished article that you'll deliver
The
to customers.
premium
but,
trim.
I don't think there's any carryover components with Chiron.
No, I don't know. No, not in the cockpit, not at all, I would say.
Top Gear doesn't make videos
so
like
this
they
wheel
used to anymore, guys.
in front of me.
That's
Do you
sad.
have to be a racing driver to understand what the hell's going on?
Well, you don't, and with all the wheels, and it's the same with some road cars these days. When you first look at it, you go, whoa, big overload of buttons and switches and things,
Yeah.
but actually it's really, really logical, and it's really easy.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want me to run through a couple
Yeah.
of bits and pieces, just if you just not that.
Oh no, it wasn't Porsche. It was a Bentley.
So, if you see the ABS and the traction control positions, for example, so if you turn.
I don't know if you guys have seen this one, which I'm gonna play next after this.
Obviously, these are
Which way's braver?
different maps. So
Probably
number,
one of my
number.
most
The bravest is 5,
favorite
and you'll notice when you go
ever
back down to
Top
1,
Gear
so when you're
scene,
on 1, 2,
cut,
and 3,
episode,
actually
whatever
have
you
ESC
wanna
as
say.
well, stability control.
Yep.
from
As soon as
back
you
in
go
the
to
day.
4
They
and
just
5,
don't
there's
make
no
like that
stability
anymore.
control, but
Yep.
just traction control.
Yep.
This
Obviously,
is
that-
trash. I'm gonna stop right now. Let's bring it in. You can see how I've watched the video already.
Would monster it. 650 horsepower.
Yeah.
This has 5.
We're getting DMCA'd for watching this content, guys. I'm gonna have to stop watching it. I'm getting a warning that the stream will be stopped if I keep watching this. God damn it, YouTube. I'm just trying to watch stuff that's on your channel. YouTube sucks, dude. YouTube sucks. Alright, guys. Let's just play some chess and call it a day. That ruined my mood. I was all fine until we were watching the other episode, and now all of a sudden that episode started getting DMCA'd. That sucks. Flip the video, reverse it. That's hilarious. That probably does work. Look at this, baby. We're in silver now. Alright. Get out of my face. Let's play some puzzles. We're at 756 rating. Black to move. Where the hell is the king? Oh, there he is. Bow, 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 wow. What the fuck, man? All right. Right. Got it. Got it. That made sense to me. That made sense to me. Dieter beats, baby.
It's tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Power going on the microphone. Pop power going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow.
Where the hell is this king?
You haven't watched this ready?
Okay.
But if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe.
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
That like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive in
What am I supposed to do here?
and hit that like and subscribe.
This one's a hard one. I need a hint. The... Oh. Okay. That felt like I was stupid as hell. I deserve it. All right, let's win a game, boys. Let's win a game. All right, come on. What you want to do? Undus. I just fucked him up. Yeah. Damn, this game's off to a horrible start. Savable. Comebackable. Alright, you rat. I can play this all day. Move pawn h1, h4. On h1, h4. What if I want to castle this guy here, though? Feel like salsa into this beat, chat. He has to move this. He has to move that. Oh no, he doesn't. He has to move this or he loses. If he doesn't move this, I go here. You're just fucking annoying me now. I go here. Only spot he can go is here. Now you can go here or here. But your horse can come and kill that. Huh? No. Oh my god, he didn't realize he could have taken my... No! Not funny, Prad. What is this shit show? Jesus motherfucking Christ, man. How do I win this? I always end up trapping them into a spot where they can't make a move anymore and I lose. Every single time. He doesn't have a move anymore apparently. He can't go here. Why? Because, okay, queen. He can't go here because of that. Can't go here, can't go here, can't go here. He can't move, so he draws. And it's not a win because he can't move. Shouldn't it be a goddamn win for the person who trapped another person into a corner? What a stupid game. What an absolute moronic game. I trapped the king in a corner. He can't move. Who wins? Nobody. Survived my dick. He ain't survived shit. I'm salty, okay? Let me be salty, dude. Alright. You're being annoying, buddy. Playing mind games with him. I'm playing mind games with him. He doesn't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. Giving him a fucking pawn there. Why would I do that? Your center is crushed. You need to develop. You may be right. Well, you are right. Not maybe. You are correct, my friend. You have never been wrong. Never put a knight on the edge. Got it. I will remember that. I did not know that rule at all. I do have a specific play. I don't want to put him here. So I can't put him here. So I want to bring him here because I want to trap his queen. But he could just do this. And block me, block me. You know? Easy block highs. Yes, exactly what I expected. From a rat fuck like you. Exactly what I expected, you little rat. So I was destroyed today on Corsair. It's in the IRA, but boy, I hate seeing it do this. I feel you, bro. Not fun. Not fun losing. I'll tell you that. Not fun losing at all. Here I am in this game. No dinner in me. Screamed for an hour and a half about the stock market. Watched a fun car video. Drank a lot of water. Drawed in chess. Or should I say drew in chess. Now here I am begging for a win so I can go eat my food and go to bed. Allah's got me. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, he checked me. Oh. Come for my queen, pussy. I dare you. Come. He's gonna run out of time with how slow he's playing. Oh, it's either I take his bishop or he takes my horse. I think the bishop is worth more at the end of the day, even though they're worth the same points. The horse is low-key fucking useless. So do I risk my horse here for the take of a bishop? Or do I move my horse? Overall, I'm up a piece. If you're just counting pieces, not the value of the pieces. If he takes my horse, I get to take his pawn back. He can come down there now. He's got open range at my king. You got no defense. You want to trade queens? You really want to trade queens? You really want to trade queens? Oh, okay, yeah, that's not a bad move. If I move my king, he's gonna take my rook. If I move my king, he's gonna take my rook, so I can't really do much there. That was a good move. I didn't see him forking my rook there. That was a good rook fork. I mean, we can do this all day if you want. I have more time than you. All I have to do is keep moving my pieces back and forward. I can just pre-move that. Make a real play, dumbass. Come on, buddy. Gotta trade queens here. Alright, let's do it. Now I just gotta outlast him in time. My whole game plan is to outlast him in time. Just make my decisions way faster than he can and just outlast him. Make him think harder. That's the game plan. No. I have 6 minutes to his 3.5 minutes. And I'm taking that win. I don't give a shit. It is a 1v1. It's not a bot. If he doesn't move it, that's the plan, yeah. He should move it. This guy's a fucking weirdo. What a fucking weirdo. He's not going to be able to checkmate me in 2 minutes. This is simply not possible. I'm not going to let him. I'm better than that. He's not going to be able to checkmate me in 2 minutes. It's simply not possible. Oh, I should have just taken that. Fuck. Should have just taken that. That would have been the easier way to path to victory by taking that. But not taking that was a mistake. Mistake. Got a minute, buddy. You gotta come up with a theory to win in a minute, and I don't think you have the brain power to do that. I'm gonna win this. Might as well resign. And I'm gonna take that win and I'm gonna go home to bed happily because I need this win so bad. I don't want to go back under 300. I fought so hard to be above 300 for the last week. That's what you're gonna do. Okay. You have a minute. Good luck. I'm gonna flame him. just so I could troll him with the time over here. He should hit me with a good game next time. Think better. Shit, he moved. You should really take that. You should take my... Alright, well, GG. He's panicking. He's panicking. He's panicking. He panicked so hard and now he's under 300. You know what? He was a good sport because he gave me a win that I needed so badly, so goddamn badly. GG's, lads. I'm sorry you guys had to witness 2 horrible games back to back. But what did you expect? What did you expect when you came to watch TraderPrad play chess? My name's not GM Prad. It will be one day, but not yet. Not yet. Oh, that was a mission. Chat, I honestly thought we were gonna be here for the rest of the night. I'm gonna have to starve myself to bed. But no, we don't. Because we won on a time technicality. It's not a draw. Shut up, TH. Not a draw. I won. Not the worst way to win, but a win's a win, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All the fun and games aside, thank you for hanging out for the last 2 hours with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love being on camera for you guys, talking about the market, playing chess, making myself look like a fool, watching YouTube videos and all other stuff with you guys. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe for me. It will help me with the YouTube algorithm very much. What else am I forgetting? Check out the links below in the description. All that fun stuff, jazz stuff. I don't want to feel like I'm selling you guys stuff, but if you guys want to check out some of the software that I use to trade, the links are down below. You get a nice little discount if you use those links and the code along with it. So please make sure you check them out along with my social media links where you get to know when I'm going live and not. Besides that, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. TraderPrad out.
8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.